How was that halftime speech?
Listen, at the end of the day, we told the team after Baylor, this team is really good. They had Georgetown down 19. Got to give them a lot of credit. They were pests on the ball. They were disruptive. They turned us over. They had 10 points off of turnovers in the first half, which was big. I felt like in the first half we took too many quick shots. We weren't patient enough. The ball stopped. And just told them we got to move it. We got to share the ball. Every time we went inside, we scored. And during certain teams, when you're playing, some teams are going to sit there and try to dare you into shooting jump shots. And I think 6 of the first 7 possessions were jump shots. And when you're the bigger team, you got to kind of pound it in. You got to crash the glass. We got to use that as our force with our size. And then when that happens, you'll have wide open threes. And so I just told them, I just want you to compete. There's 3 things you got to be able to do: play hard, play smart, play together. And I felt like I didn't think we played hard. In the first half, we had to play harder. We had to compete. And I felt like in the second half, there was more of an uptick. I thought Amir Wright came in the game in the second half, and he gave us some really good minutes. He was aggressive, taking the ball to the hoop. He was the one they were leaving open. He hit a 3, made some really good passes. It's just one of those games.
When the offense is working, it's supposed to look like what?
The ball's supposed to move. There's supposed to be more cutting, and we're trying to get the ball inside. If you notice in the Baylor game, when we got it to Isaiah and Jaden, it was pretty effective. They forced double teams, and then your guys are playing horse. 3 of Naz's 3 of his 4 made threes were off of double teams, wide open. When you have guys that can create 2 guys guarding 1, that means you're playing 4 versus 3. So if you have good spacing and you're sharing the ball, those guys will find it. And I think we had to do a better job of that.
Seems like Hamir is playing a lot more aggressively on offense this year. Can you talk about his progression?
He's a guy, it's all about a team. You look at some of these great teams, the Chicago Bulls, and you watch the end of game, they're taking away Pippen or they're taking away Jordan, and it's Steve Kerr making a shot, or it's Robert Horry making a 3. And he's a guy, I think he's the most important player to our team because he's arguably the best defensive player. He's a very smart player. He has the ability to shoot. He's really improved his 3-point shooting. And I think he's the key to this team. He's the glue. He's the guy that can really keep these guys together. He's got the experience, and he's really improved in that area. I was impressed how he drove the ball today. He drove it with conviction. In the first half, our other guys were driving it with one hand, and it just, too strong, physical, we're big. We didn't do that in the first half.
Now's dunk with under 10 minutes left in the second half. Just how much did that change the momentum, and given that the crowd reaction kind of just...
Those are momentum plays, and the dog pack was huge. I mean, listen, we needed energy. We needed energy out there, and we got some turnovers off our zone traps, and now we were able to get into transition. And when you make plays like that, those are great for the crowd and all that. We got to do that at the beginning. We've got to have that same sense of urgency right from the get-go. And this team, we're going to have a lot of ups and downs with this team. There's going to be a lot of learning experiences. We're lucky today that we were able to win and learn rather than lose and learn. But a lot of great teaching opportunities.
Nelson's a guy who was a big spark off the bench last year, and it seems like he's been able to keep that up even though he's a starter. Is there something that he's just able to find those moments?
Nas he's an attack player. He's constantly trying to attack you. I just want him to be aggressive. I feel like when he's slow and methodical is not when he's at his best. When he's going to the offensive rebounds and he's sprinting in transition and he's flying for offensive rebounds and he's blocking shots. He can impact the game in so many different ways. And he's a guy who really works on his game and really wants to win. He just in our upperclassmen, they've got to bring it. They got to bring it from the get-go. And they're leading these guys. So good second half, but first half was.
Not being able to play games for a while, is Quade a little rusty?
Yeah, you know what? It's like he's such a good shooter, and he's not shooting the open one. He kind of pump faked and went. And just told him, he's just got to relax. He's just got to relax and play. I think that's the biggest thing. Is we're a little bit anxious. You can see it. Some of the turnovers were just going too fast, and I told you this analogy last year. It's like Top Gun. you know, and when Goose dies, you know, and Maverick, the guy, you know, he's the greatest pilot of all time, and Goose dies, and he kind of loses his mojo a little bit, and he kind of, you know, as they keep putting him up, they said, did he engage? He said, he didn't engage. He says, well, keep putting him up there. And then at the end, he saves the world, right? It's Tom Cruise, right? I mean, Tom Cruise saves the world. But it's that. He's going to get the reps. He's got to get confident and comfortable. And just like I've used the analogy of dancing. You know, this is the first time that this group of guys have been playing together. And you're gonna need those reps. It's gonna be that combination. Like Quade was in transition and he saw Nas. He thought he was through the lob and he threw it, and Nas went backwards. And so, you know, a lot of like, how do you do? Nice to meet you. Those types of things are happening right now. But we'll get it right.
The things that are working well with the defense, though, are what I mean. Obviously, with this game and the game on Friday, it seems like that end of the floor, you guys are like in mid-season form.
I wouldn't say personally mid-season. We're getting better. Our length, we have a lot of length, so that obviously solves a lot of the mistakes that looks like that I'm seeing, and I think we can get a lot better and be smothering. I felt like we allowed some dribble penetration a little bit too much. Some things like they started screening the outside. They got the ball in the high post and then screened the outside. Jaden got hit on it, but those were all learning experiences. But for the most part, I'm happy. But I think we can be really, really good at it.